When a little owl started attacking cars on a busy road, people thought the bird had just lost its mind. But when a police officer spotted a weird shine on its leg, she knew this wasn't random. Where this owl took them surprised the whole police team. Before we jump into this story, tell us where you're watching from in the comments. Also, hit that subscribe button for more cool stories. On a normal workday, Officer Susan got a strange call that almost made her laugh because it sounded so silly. Someone said a small owl was blocking cars on a busy highway. It seemed like an easy fix, just shoo the bird away and let the cars move again. But this story ended up being the start of something way more awesome and heartwarming. When Susan got there, she saw something wild. A tiny owl so small compared to the big trucks had really stopped traffic in one whole lane. What stood out most was how brave the little bird was. It wasn't just sitting there, it was fighting to stay, making loud noises and flying short distances, but never leaving its spot. It acted like it really wanted to say something important. When Susan walked up to the owl carefully, something amazing happened. Instead of flying off, the little bird jumped right onto her hand, like it trusted her. Up close, she saw it was a baby owl with messy feathers and big yellow eyes. But the coolest thing was on its leg, a metal string with what looked like a tiny blue stone that sparkled in the light. Trying to move the owl off the road didn't work. Every time it flew back to the same spot. With help from a driver named Ray, they set up a detour so Susan could figure out what was going on. That's when she realized the thing on the owl's leg wasn't just some random decoration. It meant something bigger. They called a local animal expert, Dr. Dylan Mike, to help. He knew a lot about birds like this and could maybe figure out the mystery of this weird owl and what it was carrying. When Dylan got there and checked out the owl, he was just as shocked as Susan. In all his years working with birds, he'd never seen one act like this. After looking closely, Dr. Mike figured out that the weird thing on the owl's leg was a trail marker, a special tag hikers use to show their path. This find made the investigation take a surprising twist. It turns out the tag belonged to a hiker named Robert, who didn't come back from his trip recently. Now it all clicked. The little owl didn't just show up on the road for no reason. It was trying to get people to notice something. It sounded wild, but nothing else made sense. Susan and Dr. Mike decided to trust the bird and follow it into the forest, hoping it would take them to Robert. Their strange trip turned into a big adventure. The owl flew ahead, stopping now and then, waiting for them like a real leader. It guided them through thick trees, hopping from branch to branch with short flights. Every hoot and wing flap felt like a clue showing the right way. Along the path, they saw more signs they were on the missing hiker's trail. Boot prints, snapped twigs, and scratches on trees. The forest seemed to share a story with them, and their little feathered friend was the key to figuring it out. Susan and Dr. Mike stopped doubting the owl. From a cute but odd animal, it turned into something amazing in their eyes. A brave creature that could be a real hero. After hours of walking, they reached a clearing where they found signs of a recent camp, a cold fire pit, and some scattered cans. Inside a tent, they found Robert's diary. It told the awesome tale of his friendship with the owl. He wrote about the special connection they had, how the bird stayed with him and kept him hopeful when things got tough. The land got trickier. Steep cliffs, hidden gaps, shaky ground. But they couldn't stop, knowing someone out there needed help. The owl started acting more restless, its hoots getting louder and pushier. Then, all of a sudden, it flew off Susan's shoulder and zoomed into the dark forest. Chasing it, they found a hidden cave opening they would have missed without the bird's stubborn leading. And there in the cave was Robert, tired, thirsty, but alive. When the owl flew to him, his eyes teared up with happiness. It was an amazing moment of teamwork between a person and a bird, a moment none of them would ever forget. Robert explained how he met the owl on his hike, how it followed him everywhere, and then when he got stuck, it left to find help. He hoped someone would get the hint. The tag he gave the bird and his trust paid off. The story of Robert's rescue spread fast around town, turning into a legend about an incredible friendship between a human and an owl. The little bird became a local star, a hero everyone loved. If you like this story, share it with your family and friends. Also, subscribe to the channel for more stories like this. The bigger the channel grows, the cooler the stories get.